For a party that ruled Nigeria for 16 years, there are those who believe, and rightly so, that the PDP should be on the front of leading opposition in this country, especially at this very crucial time. However, that has not been the situation, given that the PDP itself, for the most part, the last 2-3 years, has become more like a house divided against itself. While on the one hand, there are those who say, well, if the PDP had, quote unquote, behaved itself going into the 2023 general election, the party perhaps would be singing a different and, who knows, a better song today. But the PDP decides to say, well, we can still sing, no matter what kind of song it is. So it has moved now to restructure internally in the hopes that it can rebuild whatever is left of it, especially going into the 2027 general election. Are these efforts far-reaching enough? Is the PDP lying to itself? Will the PDP that Nigeria knew between 1999 and 2015 be able to rebuild itself, rework itself, re-engineer itself, and put up a formidable fight against the ruling All Progressives Congress in the general election that is just barely 2 years away? Well, we have a chieftain of the party who is also the leader of the concerned PDP League with us in the studio this morning, Chief Daboikiabo Warmate, to help us find sense in these recent developments within his own party. So, Chief, I'd like to say a big thank you to you for coming in the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Let's begin with, first of all, your party appears to be doing a lot of work internally to, if you like, reimagine itself. Just on Sunday, there was a meeting of stakeholders, and some people said they're surprised that your man, the FCT minister, was at the party. I mean, he was at the meeting because they say he was the last person they expected. And the other 4 governors or former governors who make the G4 or the G5 governors were also there with him. Talk to us about the significance of that meeting of Sunday night.
Well, thank you for having me. And well, that Sunday night meeting was meant for the present PDP Governors Forum members and former governors of PDP extraction. And that is why you see those ones you call the G5, and you see the FCT minister, because he was a former governor also, and not just a former governor, a very prominent former governor of our great party, the People's Democratic Party. So that was why, and he was invited to be there. All the governors, former governors he saw there, were invited to be part of the meeting to brainstorm on the way forward for the party, considering the interest wrangling within the party, and most especially the position of the National Secretary, which the governors in their immediate past, before this Sunday meeting, the meeting that was held in Ibadan, aired in pronouncing an acting secretary as against the constitutional provision in section 47.5 and also the Supreme Court pronouncement. So I believe they've seen that they've erred, and they are finding a way to address that issue, because based on the Supreme Court pronouncement and the relevant sections in our constitution, most distinguished senator Emeka Anyanwu remains the national secretary, and that is one of the recent contentious issues we have in our party.
You see, there are people who believe that Anyanwu is a very good, if you like, ally of Mr. Wike, and as such, Wike would fight tooth and nail to ensure that he's reinstated. But is that not going to just, at best, deepen the crisis within the PDP?
No. Let me correct some statement or word you use, reinstatement. There is no reinstatement here, because he has not been removed. So you're saying he was never removed? He was never and has never been removed. So he remains the national secretary since he was elected in 2021. He has never been removed. The Supreme Court pronouncement nullifying the pronouncement of the lower court, the high court, and the division of the appeal court is a clear indication. Distinguished Senator Samuel Anyanwu, and that solved the problem. And his alliance with the FCT minister, or is a bosom friend of the FCT minister, and it cannot, because of the fact that people are saying he's a friend of the FCT minister and wants to deny him what is rightfully, constitutionally, legally, politically his position, will not make him deny him. And the FCT minister too is someone that protects his friends. And he said, no, this thing is right. My friend is supposed to remain there, and he will remain there, since the constitution has not said otherwise. And another thing is that some of the people that are making those, carrying those narratives, they are close to the FCT minister, or they were once friends of the FCT minister, or beneficiaries of the FCT minister. So what is different about most distinguished Netanyahu? The question I do ask, if they come up and say Netanyahu has eaten PDP money, or he has spent our money without approval, or he has managed a party unfairly, that is a different thing. All the governors today, and some of them that are against him, he signed their forms when they were contesting. He signed their forms. So what is the issue? If you are saying the FCT minister is the issue, some of them, I will mention name. Sheikh Makinde was a friend of the, in fact, he was called the youth leader of the PDP wing. So what has Netanyahu done to Sheikh Makinde that he will say that he will spearhead a team that will go and appoint the deputy national secretary as the acting national secretary, against the constitution, against the Supreme Court pronouncement? Meanwhile, Supreme Court pronouncement that you fail to respect, you have also approached the Supreme Court for other case. So why do you expect the Supreme Court to listen to you when you don't respect their own pronouncement? If they make another pronouncement, what is the this thing that you respect their pronouncement or judgment? So it's laughable when they come out to say they have appointed this national acting national secretary. Most of us see it as PDP Governors Forum acting national secretary. We PDP members see, and based on the constitution, Anyanwu remains the national secretary, and so will it be.
Do you believe, I mean, given what you know as an insider,
yes,
that there are people within the PDP who believe that, former governor Nyesom Wike, now FCT minister, has become too powerful, and there's no better time to, as it were, clip his wings than now, and they are making all of these moves to ensure that is achieved?
I don't understand when they say too powerful. Every politician wants to be powerful. Those people that are saying that he is too powerful, give them the opportunity. They want to be more powerful than he is today. So it's not this. I don't know why everything is Wike. Wike has done his bid for the party. Wike is doing well for the party. When the party was going almost into coma, was going breathless, he gave breath to the party. And those that are saying they are founding fathers, they are this, they are that, they are people outside being a founding father of the party. What have they contributed to the party? Nothing. They have benefited more from the party than even. So the issue of Wike doesn't come in. He has done his bid, and he has told the party, follow the constitution. His issue with the party is that follow the constitution, which is the grand norm of this association called PDP, or this political party called PDP, the People's Democratic Party. It's the People's Party. So it should be like that. We should abide and respect and obey our constitution. Simple. That is this issue. And he stated it. You remember in the 2023, he said zoning is in our constitution in section 7(3)(c). Obey it. They refuse. See what the situation we are into. Now he's sounding it. We have been echoing it, that let the presidency remain in the south for the next 4 years. Then by 2031, it goes to the north. But some people, just the same way, because of their inordinate ambition, are saying throw it open. And they've not shown capacity in winning election for us. We've given the opportunity twice. They failed. So the issue is not Wike. The issue is PDP leadership. PDP leaders should abide by the constitution of our great party.
Your party has been, as I say, in the field of medical science, hemorrhaging for quite a while now. Of course, the most recent being the exit, so to speak, of former governor of Delta State, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa. With the incumbent governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori, of course, leaders of the party within the PDP in Delta State. Let's talk about how this magnitude of defection impacts your party adversely.
Well, you see, let me first of all start by saying that is, same thing we are talking about. What has led to this recent, cross-carpeting the campaign is as a result of some of them are afraid with the actions of the governor refusing to recognize the national secretary. If today I want to contest election under the platform, who is going to sign my form? That was one of the reasons that led to the AMAC chairman decamping. From information we gathered, when the Delta State Governor decamped, James Manager, speaking on behalf of the PDC, he stated it that they know that Anyanwu is the national secretary, but they are surprised to see that the Governors Forum appointed their own acting national secretary. So they are confused, and this, led to a lot of members of our party decamping. And now that is why we are saying that the governors should retract their step. We respect them, they are senior stakeholders of the party. But that does not mean when they are progressing in error, we shouldn't draw their attention, or when they are attempting to flagrantly disobey or disregard or bypass the constitution, we shouldn't drag their attention to it. And that is it. And for the governors, and this, you see, we don't, as a party, PDP is an household name in Nigeria. PDP is loved by Nigerians, and PDP will still be loved by Nigerians, most especially Niger Delta, which Delta State. I can tell you for a fact that it's a PDP, it's a full PDP, full-blooded PDP state, because we don't feel it that much. Yes, he's a governor. Yes, the other is a former governor. Yes, they've left big names. They've left, but the truth remains that they were there. The former governor was the governor then, and the present governor was the speaker then. And PDP lost, even as vice presidential candidate, lost Delta State under his watch.
That's quite an irony.
That is the thing. So that's why we are not bothered, because we know that the masses, the followership outside those appointed by the governors, the remaining members of the party are still PDP members, and they are coming up and will throw a shocker to the incumbent governor that his decision to leave the party is he will have cause to regret it, because Deltans will vote PDP come 2027 as governor.
I know your friends are overtaking this question, but with the benefit of hindsight now, do you think PDP as a party would be in a better place if Mr. Nyesom Wike had been chosen as running mate to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar going into 2023 presidential election?
By now, I can tell you for a fact that if the FCT Minister, His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike, was nominated as the vice presidential candidate, would have been in the villa by now, without any doubt, because he's a man of capacity, he's a man of strategy, political strategy, and you can confirm my statement with the statement of one of his critics today turned to be regretting their decision, and that is the person, an ally of the former vice president, Timi Frank, a former national deputy spokesman of APC. He said it when in his statement reacting to Okowa's decamping. He said they regret not picking the FCT minister, His Excellency Barrister Wike, as the vice presidential candidate. By now they would have won, or would have been in villa, and today as we speak they will not experience this shameful act of him moving from PDP to APC. Even though we have heard a lot of stories that he did that because of, the EFCC is being confronted by EFCC and so on. But me, my own take in all of this, you have your constitutional right to associate, to relate with whoever you want to relate. But when you are leaving a party like the PDP that has given you life, that has brought you to limelight, you should quietly leave, and not to make any derogatory statement against the party or undermine the fact that the party today, Nigerians talk about you because of PDP. If there was no PDP, nobody would have known you. So when you are decamping, it's my advice to leaders of our party, decamp quietly. Now, I'll give an example why I'm saying that. The former vice president, when he was decamping, which PDP did? In 2014, one of his ally and boy, Senator Dino Melai, said to Fuaka PDP, Alaya is a PDP, Olamaje PDP. Today he came back to that PDP, he came to his vomit. Not only that, even took a ticket as a governorship flag bearer of our party in Kogi State. So I just advise them, please quietly Because without PDP, you are nobody. And PDP have made you who you are today by the grace of God. So just quietly, if you have any good reason or selfish reason to leave the party, just quietly leave the party. And that is my advice for, what is it called, the former governor and the present governor of Delta State. After they've left, they just go and join the party and not make, although we're hearing rumor that their one leg is still in the PDP, they want to, take the structure of the PDP, they have placeholders in the PDP to keep the structure, because they've asked them, go and register in your various wards, various units. Some of them refuse to go and register. In fact, was it many days ago, some of the House of Rep members from, they said they are not part of those that decamped.
So they're still in the PDP?
Yes, they are still in the PDP. They said it. Yes.
A lot to talk about this one, but just yesterday your party inaugurated its BOT members. They say quite a number of those members had not been active. Dozens of them had not been active. In fact, the word used is inactive for a long time. How can such a crucial, very vital organ of a party like the PDP be largely inactive for that amount of time?
No, you see, not that they are inactive. I think some of our leaders are economical with the truth. The tenure of some of these persons have expired. And I raised the issue and I complained about it. Whatever platform I appeared, I raised the consciousness that our BOT members, more than half their tenure have expired. And it is making the BOT to be dormant. One or two persons will just make comment. No, the tenure of the BOT members, new members should be nominated. So I was happy when I heard from one of the state chairmen that the BOT secretary has written to him, asking him precisely the Imo State PDP chairman, in the person of Honorable Austin Wachuku, that the BOT has written to him for the state to nominate their slot for the BOT. I was happy that they are doing that, because it was unheard of that PDP BOT members' tenure will expire and some people just gather expired members their tenure has expired and be using them to make statements that are not promoting the party, that are self-serving. But I was happy yesterday when I was called that they are doing the inauguration of the BOT members and I should be around. I said no, I'm busy somewhere, but I'm happy to the fact that they have recognized and listened to my voice that the BOT has not been properly constituted and should be properly constituted, and to do that you need to request for fresh nominees to replace those that their tenure has expired, and that is what happened.
All right, so let's take a quick break at this point, everyone. Quite a lot to unpack this morning regarding this conversation. We understand there's now a Saraki committee that has been set up by the PDP just yesterday. What exactly is the mandate of this committee, and how will that help better the fortunes of the PDP going forward? We'll find out behind this short break. So talk to our viewers about this Saraki-led committee that has been set up by the PDP. This is not the first time, by the way, that your party is setting up a committee like this. But what makes this one different?
Well, I believe that this is, an intervention, reconciliation committee, because it's a welcome development, considering the fact that there are one or two issues that need to be addressed. And the person they appointed, His Excellency Dr. Bukola Saraki, is an experienced politician, and it is a familiar terrain for him. He has headed a committee like that within the PDP National, this reconciliation committee. So we hope that he will bring his wealth of experience and unbiasedness into this committee and ensure that the mandate to reconcile aggrieved members to act on it quickly. Because let me give you, for example, the major issue that right now without the tension in the party or the interest wrangling in the party is the issue of the national secretary. And to be frank to you, the national secretary in the person of most distinguished Senator Samuel Inemeka Anyanwu has been a perfect gentleman. If he's not a perfect gentleman, I'm telling you, by now PDP would have been in a serious crisis, or even our party secretary would have been shut down. And I'll tell you why. Because he's the secretary and his deputy, because he has backing of some governors. I started calling for meeting with staffs, redeploying staffs, working about that they are trying to fix acting drama, going that they are trying to inspect the facilities where NEC will hold, which has never been done. We know it's just drama. So, but despite that, he stayed back, knowing fully well that the law is on his side and the people are on his side. He stayed back. If he resisted that action, we know what would have happened at our national secretariat. So we urge and plead with the committee to look at the Supreme Court judgment, to look at section 47.5, to look at section 48.1 of our constitution, and make sure that Senator Anyanwu remains the national secretary. Because let me tell you, for example, see what is happening in Anambra State. It was as a result of this national secretaryship issue that a lot of people in the first time in the history of PDP that Anambra, nobody bought ticket. In fact, they had to go and look for somebody to buy. Only one person bought a governorship ticket. Why? Because people are afraid who is going to sign my form. Today we are talking about NEC in the next few weeks, 27th of this month. Who is going to send out the notice for the meeting is the national secretary. Because any letter, any correspondence signed by the acting so-called the PDP Governors Forum acting secretary, it's not PDP national secretary, acting secretary, cannot be recognized.
So those letters will not be honored.
It will not be honored because by law he's not the national secretary. He should send correspondence to INEC. Let's see. So this will impede the 27th May 2025 NEC meeting if they don't address the issue of this national secretaryship.
When you look at all of these things, it will appear PDP is eating itself from the inside, don't you think?
No, it's not. You see, the problem we are having is that some people have this inordinate ambition and they are desperate about it, and they are bent on ensuring that their desperation gets to its end. But now some of them have realized that no, the law is against them. They are flagrantly disobeying the constitution, and they've seen that we, the supporters of Senator Anyanwu, will not take it. In fact, we've given them 1 week to the we are watching a week to the NEC. If they don't, the governors will mean, with due respect to them, revert their statement of an acting national secretary. We will take them to court and ask the court to define who is the national secretary based on section 45, 37.5, 48.1 and the Supreme Court pronouncement, and let's see who will be the national secretary. They are doing what is wrong, and they should be humble enough to say to Senator Anyanwu, sorry, it was politics, but we have seen this, that we have made a blunder. Come, let's work together. And let me tell you this, the national chairman in the person of Ambassador Umala Damagu and the national secretary in the person of most distinguished Senator Samuel Inemeka Anyanwu as the best thing that has happened to PDP presently. Otherwise, without them, what we are talking about would have been a worse situation. Believe you me.
Well, you see, it's interesting. Let's go back again to your meeting of Sunday night.
Yes.
Right. We understand former Vice President Atiku Abubakar was not there. Is that correct?
Yes, he wasn't there.
What does his absence signify, especially at this critical moment in the history of PDP? Or are we just going to wave it off as inconsequential?
No, but the meeting wasn't invited. The meeting
is there a reason a man of his stature would not be invited for such a meeting?
No, because the meeting was not for all stakeholders. It was specifically for the PDP Governors Forum and the former PDP governors, former governors from PDP, and one of very few, National Working Committee members. That was just it. So the former vice president does not fall under any of these categories, so there was no way he could be there. Yes.
Now, let's talk about, let's go to your home state now, Rivers State. I'm very sure that you have seen the video where the now suspended governor,
Yes.
Siminalayi Fubara, was, at the tributes to late Pa Dr. Edwin Clark. Talked about how that for those who think he's interested in going back to the government house, they are not paying attention. They have another thing coming because his spirit has left that place. Of course, your man, the FCT minister, has responded to that during his media parley yesterday. What's the relationship like now between Wike and Governor Fubara?
No, you see, he has said it in his media parley that he's open to, peace, is open to forgiveness, but the forgiveness should come with utmost sincerity and open-mindedness. So that is his position. And I just hope that the governor will take advantage of the opportunity being given to him by the FCT minister. You see, there is something, and when the governor made that statement, it's very correct to have said that people don't observe. He listened to people and they gave him wrong advice. Today, the advice has led him to this calamity he's facing today. And when people are telling him, see, come, the FCT minister said it. He said, see, do this, do that. Don't people are telling you, you're a governor, you can do this, you can do that. You can do this, you can do that. He said, see, don't forget those that did not. I was among them. I did not sleep. I made my little contribution, my sacrifice in my own local government to make sure that he became a governor. So me too, I'm out. Just like the FCT minister, that you come and abandon people through whom, the vehicle through whom you became, God used to make you governor. So his statement is a sign that he has begun to realize himself that he has made a blunder. He has listened to the wrong persons, people that were not supposed to be listened to, because the FCT minister, for his sake, had a lot of enemy just to make sure that he became the governor of Rivers State. He had a lot of enemy, and those people are the ones that are advising you. Would they advise you rightly? No, because they want that seat and you took it from them. So it's an opportunity to give you wrong advice, so they will have the opportunity to tomorrow take over that seat. And the governor did not see this and was listening to them. Today, look at where it has taken him to. So that statement is a statement of regret, and it's a statement that I feel he shouldn't only say it, but he should act it and go back. There's nothing wrong, like the prodigal son. There is no perfect this. You know, so you've offended someone, you can go and tell him, see, my leader, my father, I've offended you, well, forgive me, look at it. And with sincere heart, and the FCT minister says, there for peace, because what Rivers people want is peace. What Rivers people want is development. And that is what we stand for. And that is what the FCT minister stands for. That's why I say it's open to peace. So the governor should act and also advise his loyalists to stop making derogatory statement, to stop, embarrassing the state, like what happened with the first ladies, the program where they walked out on her and so forth. You saw the reaction of the FCT minister.
Can we blame that on Governor Fubara? Of course. We cannot blame that on him.
No. Well, it depends on how you look at it, but the long and short of it is that talk to your supporters. That look at it. There is a peace is coming, and I want to take advantage of that peace, and please, I appreciate your support, but at this point in time, just like he said, Oshogbe will not do anything. They've done Oshogbe, see where it has led him to. So he has said it to them in a simple term, that Oshogbe will not take us anywhere.
That in fact, none of his supporters should go ahead to make statements or take actions without his knowledge or approval.
Yes.
But let's talk about something else. With regards to this same matter, during this press party we talked about, hosted by the FCT minister, he did say that Governor Fubara came to him, but he came with two APC governors. Talk to us about that angle.
You see, when I heard that, I laughed, because we have PDP governors. So why APC governors?
Maybe he thought those
are not one. Both of them are APC governors. What sign is the governor giving us? What sign? And I became a bit worried that we have PDP governors. For your sake, they went to court. None of them are good enough to go to the FCT minister with you to tell him that, Your Excellency, this is your son, this is your boy, politically speaking. Please, he has realized himself, just like the prodigal son. We want you to accept him back and relate with him the way you used to relate with him, guide him the way you used to guide him. It's as simple as that. But when I had 2 APC governors, I sat back, I was like, what is happening? We don't have governors that are good enough to go with him to approach the FCT minister. Is that what the governor is telling us? So I became worried, and we are waiting to see what will happen.
Well, I'm very sure a lot is going to happen in this regard. But again, we'll take a quick break at this point. When we return, a lot more to talk about before we wrap it up altogether this morning. We hear that there are a few other people within the fold of the PDP who are likely going to defect anytime soon to the APC. And somebody asked me on my way to work this morning, what exactly is the APC telling these governors and other big wigs within the PDP that makes them move into the ruling party? We'll find out from my guest this morning. Do stay with us. There are people within your party and those who are not even members of your party, some of them not politicians at all, who believe that if the PDP must get it right going forward, one of the first things they must do is to find out what is the bait the APC is selling to these people who are moving. Because there's also the theory now that there are a few more persons in your party that will move, following what we have seen in Delta States. Some persons have talked about Governor Peter Mba of Enugu, for example. And there are a few more coming, including Akwa Ibom, who has not hidden his support for President Bola Tinubu, especially as it touches on 2027. Will the PDP live in denial or find the courage to confront this challenge?
Well, I believe the PDP will find the courage to confront the challenge, and that is what has led to the Saraki-led committee to see how they can stem the tide of frequent decamping of PDP leaders into the APC. And that of, if you look at that of the Enugu state governor, you see even APC people are rejecting him in his state. And in PDP, from what we gather, is one of the persons that is causing this tension as regard, because he wants to bring someone that is unfit, is a misfit for the position of the national secretary. So although he's silent, but from investigation, he has been the reason behind this Udokoye coming up and so on. So the issue of defection has many, sides. Some we've heard that some that are decamping, not because the APC is doing well, but because they have issues, they've tampered with state resources. And just like the former national chairman of APC said, he said, when you come into APC, your sins are forgiven. So that philosophy, has made some of them move into the APC with the hope that their sins will be forgiven. And also some of them, just like I told you, has given the reasons regarding the national secretaryship, if they are contesting who is going to sign this thing, that issue. Some of them, that is the reason they give for leaving, but we don't know how genuine is that they are reason, but that is the reason they've given. And the governors of our party has given those people the opportunity to have such reasons. If they, in their Ibadan meeting, accepted the fact that Anyanwu is the national secretary and abide by the constitution, most of these persons, I don't think they would have decamped. And people are not decamping to APC because the APC is doing very well. Now, let me tell you, for example, the insecurity issue is heart-aching. See what happened to young Nigerians, vibrant Nigerians in Borno the day before yesterday or so. So it's something that we believe is more than what the eyes can see. But I can say that most of those that are decamping to the party, to APC, are doing it for self-centered reasons. Not because they want their people, they want development for their people, or they want something, this thing. They are living there because APC government is doing very well. Looking at all the indices, to be truthful to ourselves, you say that it's not because of what the APC is doing. It's because they want protection. It's because they don't want to be harassed by EFCC. It's because they are looking for covering and so on. So that is just it. Even the Enugu state governor, some of them is because they want their second tenure, because we have that challenges of first tenure governors of our party looking for means to move because they want to secure their second term. In fact, that is one of the reasons why they said the Delta State Governor decamp, the Enugu State Governor is attempting to decamp after causing crisis in the PDP, and one or two of them. But the unfortunate thing for some of them is that in their state, the APC chapter there has rejected them already, like that of Enugu State. There was a viral video where they said they were a day.
There's this concern about the relationship between FCT Minister Wike and Governor Seyi Makinde of your state. Before now, they had both largely be on same page, politically speaking. I mean, of course, both of them are members of the 5G governors and all of that. But how is it that when it has to do with this secretaryship, national secretaryship thing of your party, they don't seem to see eye to eye? What's the element responsible for that?
Well, I don't know what is really responsible for that, but just like you say, some people feel that, and that's why I feel disappointed in the Oyo State government. Some people feel that, you know, the national secretary is at the beck and call of the FCT minister, which is not correct. And the FCT minister himself has also made that clear. But coming from someone like the Oyo State governor, Seyi Makinde, is heart-aching, because one, this same Aya signed your form when he came into the party and when he wanted to contest as governor. This same Aya supported you. So the question is, what offense has he committed? We've been asking our governors, none of them and our leaders have been able to answer that question. Now, if you say because of the FCT minister, you also are being a friend of the, or is still a friend of the FCT minister. In fact, we read on Punch and also some national dailies that he was delegated by the PDP Governors Forum to meet with the FCT minister. So if you are close to the FCT minister, and this person is close to the FCT minister, why do you want to fight him? Is it because you want to contest for president? If you want to contest for president, who told you that he will not support you if you are able to take the party ticket? He signed your form as governor when you wanted to contest as governor. So why do you think you will not sign your form? Or what is that thing that there's something beyond what the eyes can see that is making us, and that's why people like us are very concerned, because the person we least expected that can be used or will want to spearhead the truncating of the tenure of Moses English Senator Samuel Anyanwu is His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State. But we are amazed, and you know, that is at the front burner among the people that don't want himself and the Governor's Forum chairman.
Talking about Bala Mohammed.
Bala Mohammed, yes. And that is worrisome, because if they are on the right path, if they are in line, their actions are in line with the Constitution, fine and good. But right now, it's anti the Constitution, anti the pronouncement of the Supreme Court. So I want to use this opportunity to plead with them as leaders of our party to retract their steps and work with one of the finest national secretary we've ever had, and ensure that the party move forward. That is my appeal to them specifically.
Let's talk about this Seraki committee, because it appears that PDP is in a far worse place now than it had been previously when you had similar committees being set up. Look at somebody like Chinyere, for example. A man, I mean, in his own right, has sizable followership within the PDP. He wields his own amount of influence within the PDP. His position largely aligns with that of the presidential candidate of your party in 2023, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, for example. Does this committee have the capacity, from what you have seen now, being realistic, to be able to help mend fences within the party?
Well, I want to say that the chairman and the members of the committee, I always like giving people the benefit of doubt,
right,
before, commend or criticize them. And the chairman has been in that terrain before, so I believe we'll be able to handle the situation fairly. And I presently, giving him the benefit of the doubt, I believe in his capacity to being a former governor, a former PDP Governors Forum, Nigerian Governors Forum chairman, a Senate president. You'll be able to use his wealth of experience to address issue as it is. And to talk about Ogochiri, you see, number one, let me let you know and our viewers that he's no longer a member of our party. I have evidence to that fact. He was expelled by his ward, and the expulsion was affirmed by his local government. The state affirmed it. I have a copy of the letter that was sent to the NWC. So Ogochiri is, as we speak today, is not a member of PDP. He joined PDP in 2022. And you see, there is something I want to say. Just like my governor, that is same thing Ogochiri. Now let me tell you, based on
by your governor, you mean Fubara?
Yes. Based on our constitution and based on the Electoral Act, every primary election must be conducted within the senatorial, federal or state constituency.
Right.
If it's governorship, within the state. Now, Ogochiri's primaries was not conducted in Idiaton North and South federal constituency. It was conducted,
which he represents.
Yes, was conducted in Oluzon. And that invalidates your primaries. We had cases of such cases, 3 of them. Now, after they won the general election, Ogochiri and 2 other persons. But before that, and that's why I feel so bad that this young man will act like that. Let me tell you, Anyanwu, and most especially the FCT minister, was instrumental to him taking the ticket. It was somebody else that won the ticket, the primaries. But during the appeal committee, because we have electoral committee, after the electoral committee we set up appeal committee, it was during the appeal committee they were able to influence and plead with the winner, and Ogochiri came in. Now that is the first step. Now after that, he won the general election. In the general election, the tribunal, they went to tribunal, the APC candidate went to tribunal, and in the tribunal he lost. In fact, the 2 of them, himself and the other one was senator, the other was House of Rep member, due to the fact that their primaries were not conducted in their senatorial district and federal constituency. And Ogochiri was removed. He went to appeal. Who helped him in the appeal to win the appeal was the FCT minister. Others lost it. The other 2, the senator and the House of Rep from that has same situation with him, lost it even at the appeal. But the FCT minister stayed his neck and ensured that Ogochiri came to power, to House of Rep. So today, as we speak, Ogochiri, after God, is being a member of the House of Rep to Wike and Anyanwu. But it's so disappointing that Ogochiri has become a bad example of a young man that will make leaders not to support. Look at his comment when he's talking, insulting PDP leaders. If you have issue with any PDP leader, you can criticize them without insulting them. I criticize our leaders that are working against the Constitution. I stand by the Constitution. I quote the Constitution. I dare people to look at the Constitution. On several platforms, I've invited Ogochiri to a live debate on issues he has raised, because he's a political neophyte as far as PDP is concerned. He doesn't know anything about the party. What even made him he came into the party 3 months or so thereabout to primaries, and that is because in section 54 and 7 of our Constitution, before now, it takes you 18 months when you join our party to be able to contest election. But due to the fact that in 2017 they amended it to 1 month, he came in. That was why he was able to come in. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to come in. And all this, the credit is to the FCT minister and the National Secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu. But today, his same people is fighting. He has never worked in any place. The only place he worked was when Senator Saraki, when he was Senate President, employed him as he's one of his PRBRN boys. So you came up. You had all this opportunity. You came up. What you do is to insult those people. So I don't pay attention to him. Sorry to say, because he's stuck in trade, his betrayal, lying, and blackmail. So I don't pay attention to him. And as we speak today, I have the proof to the fact that he is not a PDP member. Let me give you an example. He was the founder of APP. APP today, if not that some of us are talking to them, they should wait. They want to protest. Because each of my local government chairman, each of them has been allowed to donate 100 million. amounting to 2 point something billion, who through the party they give it to Ogochiri. And that is the kind of person.
To what end?
No, because he sold the party to the governor. And that is what is happening. And he owes Ogochiri, if he's that popular, I've dared him. I've dared him for a live debate. I've dared on several platforms, even on live press conference. I've dared him. He has, displayed cowardness by refusing to pick up my challenge. And I've asked him, if you are that popular, go and contest under the party you founded, the APP. Why did you come to PDP? Now go to that APP.
So you are alleging that he betrayed the APP in the interest of Governor Fubara in River State. Is that the point?
APP has never won even a councillorship. Not even if they domestic staff. If they are doing domestic staff election, APP has not won any. And he sold the party to the governor. He's one of the persons that deceived the governor into this what is facing today. Otherwise, the governor would have been in this mess. He now sold the party, using the party to milk the state government in connivance with, from what it has been alleged, the chief of staff to the governor. So that is the kind of person, and that's why I don't like giving credence to him, because talking about him is like I'm wasting my time. Because look at all I've just mentioned. Today, I want him, what I've said, I dare him to come to this same station and say that what I'm saying is not true, and I'll come here to let him know that, bring proof to let him know that I'm the one saying the truth.
Well, one would have thought, calendar-wise, 2027 is still far away, but politicians think otherwise. They believe that it has never been closer. So the earlier the better. Let's start politicking in that direction. Do you think, given what you know today, I mean, you are obviously a ranking member of the PDP, that your party should form an alliance with any other party, whether NNPP, Labour, whatever it is, going into 2027? Because from the conversation we're having now, all of the narratives are saying, it is apparent that the ultimate goal is to get APC out of power. So do you see, or would you advise your party to give thoughts to the prospect of forming an alliance with other political parties?
You see, I want to align myself with what my dynamic national chairman and national secretary has said in the person of Ambassador Damagu and Senator Anyanwu. They have made it clear. They said, any alliance that will lead to changing the name PDP, they will not be part of it.
So that brand must remain.
It must remain. It's an household name. It's a brand that every Nigerian loves. So they can't afford to change it. What they are saying is that we can have talk, we can have collaborations, we can collaborate with others, we can, discuss if you want to be part of us, but not to the extent of changing our party name and logo. No, that is the position of the party, and the national chairman has stressed it, the national secretary has stressed that fact, and I want to align with that, because I think that is the way. For PDP is popular. All we need to do is to put our house in order, and if you put our house in order, Nigerians are yearning for us to come. Nigerians are the ones that are saying that, PDP, please address this issue. I have received call from several countries regarding this national secretaryship and condemning the governor's forum action and things like that. That is to tell you how Nigerians, even in diaspora, are interested in PDP and know that PDP is the only party that can salvage this country. So I don't think that it is about this. It is about we putting ourselves to house in order, not about coalition. Yes, it is welcome. Discussion, fine, is okay, but the major issue is for us to put our house in order. And I tell you, we might not even need the coalition. Nigerians will just say, carry go, we missed you people. That is it.
Let's hope that happens. Of course, it's going to take some real work for the PDP to be able to rebuild and, if you like, recalibrate to get it right going into 2027 and even beyond. Thank you so very much, Chief Warmate Daboikiabo, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
This morning. I'll be speaking with a very high-ranking member of the PDP and the leader of concerned PDP League, Chief Warmate Daboikiabo, who has been able to help shed light on many of the issues and developments within the party. We'll leave it here, everyone. We'll take a break, and shortly my colleague, Queen Agaba, and I will be back here to draw the curtains on today's edition of the program.